Yeah, good evening, everyone. This is me, your brother, your friend, Nnamdi Stephen on the show. Sorry, I have to come a little bit late today because I was a little bit busy during the day, so I couldn't really meet up with our 12 o'clock time. Please, guys, just bear with me, and sorry for the late coming. But anyhow, I am here today to give you the today's update and just truly it's even better that I stayed late because it makes me to get more information that I need to pass across to you today. So there are a lot of information that happened yesterday. There are a lot that happened between this morning and this period. So I have to put all of them together, and we're going to have this very robust time of discussion, guys. And this is Niger was YouTube channel where everyone is welcome. If this is your first time of being with us on Niger Watch, please kindly just subscribe to the channels and give us some likes. And please do not forget to drop your comment because it is important for us because your comment helps us to re-evaluate, our performance after the end of every show. So if we are doing it right, please let us know. If there's anything you feel we are doing that is not conforming to your dictates and likes, please drop it there. We are going to go through them, and I promise you, we are going to work according to what you guys want. Because the reason why we are existing as a channel, it is because you guys are there to support us and to give us all the necessary, a boost that we needed in making, this very particular job a successful one. As you all know, it's not quite easy to stand, being behind the scene and also talk to so very many people. My name is Humani Steven, and this is Matter Arising with Humani Steven on the Niger World channels, YouTube channels, TV. And also, if you are on Facebook, please follow me on the Matter Arising with Humani Steven or the United States of Nigeria. We are going to get this latest news update every day, except on Sundays. Sometimes we can have an emergency news on Sunday, but Sundays are always days that we have to get rest, and have some time off. And yesterday, I was on Channels Television following the proceedings of what was happening, over the Asaba Accord, like my brother, Chief Dr. Mike Ozakome will call it Asaba Concordiale. And I was there just going through, trying to listen to that politics today with Cheun Oshimbalowo on Channel Television, and I found out that the Minister of Justice. Malami was the one that was actually the guest of the day, and I was pleased to actually listen to him to know what he's going to say over the controversy surrounding, the ban on open grazing and the restructuring of the nation called Nigeria. And when I listened to him, I was baboozled. I must say the least. I was so much baboozled. I was taken off my feet, hearing a man who is a son, an intellectual, a luminary, talking like a child of 5 years old from the south. I was amazed at his level of incompetency. With all due respect, at his level of incompetency when he was trying to defend the indefensible, was trying to defend to defend what actually would have been a, a passageway to heaven. Okay, guys, he began to defend it, and I was a little bit shocked. Like, wow, is this guy really normal? Does this guy really have understood what we are talking about in a system like Nigeria where things are going the other way? And that triggered me. I became furious, knowing fully well that Nigeria can never be the same because our thinking level is on parallel line. Our understanding of modern world, modern government is on parallel line. Our mental faculty is on parallel line. Our developmental standard and strives is on parallel line. Our educational ability, ability to take in and also take out what we've taken in, after being processed is on parallel line. And I found that there is no way that Southern Nigeria can be able to have vis-a-vis, a collaboration with the North and survive as a nation, or even develop as a nation. Then I began to wonder if the Minister of Justice, a man that actually is supposed to be the man who has a legal possession of the law of the land as of today, cannot be able to understand what it is for a governor to be the chief security officer of his state. Okay? Now, and that shocked me to my bone, guys. I was like, wow, wow, wow. Now I see why we can never, ever be one. I have been among those who believe that Nigeria can actually survive. But with the way and manner I hear him speak yesterday, it has dawned on me that the likes of Sunday Igbaho, that the likes of Nnamdi Kanu, the likes of Atakubo Sakari, and many others who are actually agitating for the dissolution of the state called Nigeria, they have a point. We are not sane mentally, physically, emotionally, academically, and otherwise. We are two different breed of people. The South is completely different from the North. They are so nepotic in nature. They are very extremist in their thinking and very tribalistic. And they are very so much ethnocentric in whatsoever they do. They do not give a hoot. They do not give a damn what happens to other people. They are only concentrating on what happened to them. It is preposterous to hear the Attorney General of the Federation and the Minister of Justice, Malami, speaking like a child who had not gone through the walls of a primary school, all in a bid to defend the atrocity being committed by his people. I could see on his face, doesn't give a hoot about what happened to a Satana. He's only concerned about what is actually happening to his people, even when his people are actually the ones that is creating the havoc, that is dragging Nigeria 200 years back. To the ancient and barbaric ways of living. In the 21st century, in a developed nation, people are still supporting this very, very unpalatable system of rearing cattle in a world where everything has evolved to a point. Even cattle are not even being reared in the moon. In a world whereby cattle rearing has not got it to grade 20 in some part of the world today. If you go to Sweden today, you're going to see their cattle is as big as an elephant. If you go to Australia, who has the highest number of cattle in the world, their cattle is as big as something you cannot even think of. They are coming out with new technology to increase the production rate of their cattle, and people are still talking about taking cattle from the north of Nigeria to the south on foot. It is quite unfortunate that these people are also trying to perpetually impoverish the children of the Talakawas and the Datrodians in the north. The likes of this idiot called himself the Attorney General of the Federation. I'm very sure his children are schooling in London, in America, in Canada, or any other part of the developed world, apart from Nigeria. I'm very sure his son, because I saw the house he actually built for his son, is just a common lawyer. He's just a common lawyer who I'm very sure has not actually won a case, because with the way and manner he speaks, this guy cannot win a case in Nigeria. Okay, he can't stand in the same room with the likes of Femi Falana. He can't stand in the same room with the likes of even Festus Kayamo. He can't stand in the same room with the likes of Mike Ezokume. They are all sons. I'm saying he can't stand in the same room with them. When they're in the same court of in the same courtroom, this guy cannot be able to stand before these people and actually defend a client based on on the antecedents that he has displayed in the last 6 years, of his tenure as the AGF of the federation. Now, having said that, this same man also said, before the state government can call for restructuring of Nigeria, they should restructure the local government. I am in support of local government restructuring anyways, but if the federal government begins with the restructuring, the state has no other option than to give autonomy to the local government. Then the reason why the state is so much in this form, it is because the federal government has so much arrogates so much power to himself based on the Decree 24 that actually give rise to the 1999 civilian government under Abubakar. I said it in several times on this video that the 1999 constitution that we actually parade today is not actually a constitution, but a decree of the military, which was translated, to Chief Olusegun Obasanjo, who, by the virtue of being the president at that time, would have called for a national constitutional conference, where a new constitution would have been drawn from all the 370 ethnic groups that actually makes up the nation. But unfortunately, because of the greed and power drunkenness of Olusegun Obasanjo, having read the constitution, knowing fully where it actually followed the dictates of his kind of job, which as an ex-military man, he refused to do that. He had all it takes because at that time the nation was just going through a very horrible transition that actually created a very ugly situation for the nation between the 1993, M. Abiola annulment and the 1999. There was high tension in the nation that the nation might not be able to survive under 1 year. So that was why when he came up with the Oputa panel, you all know the Oputa panel, everyone actually came in. So they had no choice because they wanted a Nigeria that would move forward. Obasanjo had all it takes to change the status quo of putting powers in the hands of these few oligarchies, but not if he refused to do it because it actually benefited his selfish desire and interest to perpetually remains in power. Forgetting that the people actually brought him in. At the time he wanted to use the constitution to elongate his stay in power, it was rejected by the same Hausa Fulanis, who he protected between 1999 and 2007 by not changing that very particular decree, who later became constitution. And he said, if the SASA governor needs restructuring, they should take it to the National Assembly. Say, paraventure, that was his language. They will gather the required support. That was what the 1999 constitution gave, allowing the North to produce more House of Rep members than the South. The 1999 constitution gave them so much power that in the Senate they are the same. But when there is a vote along the line of constitutional amendment, the House of Rep takes predominant advantage over the Senate. You get it now? So they knew that even the senators in the House, in the Senate, will not accept or agree to the dictates of the South because they see the South as a conquered state and the North as the masters. Do not forget, on the 9th of February this year, the Northern State Governors Forum came up with a resolution, a communique, which is the same like the one the Southern counterpart gave, that open grazing should be bound in the entire Nigeria, that the use of underage children should also be abolished. that the use of unmarried children should also be abolished in Nigeria, to the grazing. And the night grazing should be banished completely to avoid the clash between the herders and the farmers. Okay? On 11th of February 2021, just 2 days after, there was, the entire Nigerian Government Forum, that was also held on a visual where what the Northern Governors Forum said in their meeting was actually re-echoed, reaffirmed that the only way they can reduce the tension between that is also already, ravaging the Nigerian state is to bound open grazing of cattle. It was reaffirmed on 11, 2 days after the Northern Governors Forum did the same thing. In the month of May, a few weeks ago, the Southern Governor came up, having seen that nothing had been done based on what was said in the Governor Forum. They only came to the South and also reaffirmed, re-echoed, added their voice to what was discussed in the North and in the entire Governor Forum meeting, and they said these things had to go. Immediately, that was said. The same group of people who had once upon a time in Nigeria gave a nod for there to be a complete ban of open grazing, came up and said, why did you not consult us first? That action alone, that statement alone is just like a master-servant relationship. A king, commoner relationship. You don't take a decision for a king. The king can take a decision, and if you, a commoner, decide to take the same decision that the king has just taken, he's going to ask you, who did you consult before taking such decisions? You do not have the right to take a decision as a commoner, but the king has the right to take the same decision that you took. It might even be convenient for the king, but when you take it, it becomes inconvenient and disrespecting to the king. That is the mindset of an average northern elite. The South do not have the moral standing to dictate for them how they have to live. Between 1999 and 2003, don't forget, this group of people never considered the Southern counterpart, or even the Christian Association in the North, when they enacted the Sharia law. In 2007, this same group of people never consulted the Southern counterpart when they enacted, or they came up with what they called the Hisbah police. It was more like a religious, a body to stop some certain things that is okay in the South, not to be done in the North. The same group of people never, for once, consulted the Southern counterpart when they stopped or they bound the production of pigs in the North. These people never supported, neither all do they at whatever point in time they called on their Southern counterpart when they actually stopped the sales of alcohol and the destruction of millions, hundreds of millions of produce of alcohol, and also destroying hotels and eateries of the Southerners who lives in the North, which they feel was against their constitution and their rules that they have put up. This same moronic Attorney General of the Federation never for once came out to question the activities of his people and to call it illegal, that it is ultra waras, intra waras. But rather, he backed them up, believing we must respect their religion. Fine and good. But Nigeria is a secular state. Like he said, everyone had the right. Everyone had the right. That was what he said yesterday. Everyone had the right to live wherever he or she wants to live. If that is the case, therefore, I have the right to go to Kano State and start up a pig farm. It is my constitutional right. I have the right to allow my pigs to move on the street of Kano. I have the right to allow my pigs to move on the streets of Kaduna State. I have the right to allow my pigs to move on the street of any northern, Muslim-dominated states. But will I be given such a permission to do that? The answer is no. Now, while he was trying to also buttress his idiotic points, he made a very blunder statement trying to compare cattle rearing with trespass trading. Then I lost it. I want to listen to him in his own voice before I continue with his analysis. Listen in his own voice, before I made some remarks on the idiotic statement that came from a man that was supposed to see as a legal luminary. Hear this.
Ban open grazing across southern region of the country. What's your view on that?
Well, it's about constitutionality within the context of the freedoms expressed in our constitution, enshrined in our constitution. Can you deny the right of a Nigerian? For example, it's as good as the...
Now, let me deal on that first. He said, based on the constitution of Nigeria as of today, can you deny the right of a Nigerian? The answer is no. You can't deprive the right of a Nigerian. But I want to ask this very guy. I'm not a lawyer. Like I said, I didn't even go to school. I'm an illiterate. I never went to school. But I have common sense, which is not actually common. No, so I have the knowledge of God, which surpasses the knowledge of the classroom. Okay, that gives me a broader thinking ability to understand how things actually works. So the English I speak today shall only pick from the street. Okay, guys, you get that now. Now let me try to educate this guy who is a son. In the first place, the Constitution says there is freedom of movement, there is freedom of association, there is freedom of religion. Movement, association, religion. We'll take note of those three. Now, the same Constitution also says now, the moment your freedom is not inflicting on the right of others, then the law had the power to put a stop. Is this man going to tell me that when a man commits a crime, why do the government have the right to put him in prison? This man who committed a crime has, by law, had the freedom to move around. But why is this man not being confined within a certain location? Because he's going through sentences of the crime he has committed. Now, in the law also, they also enshrine the freedom to life. But in the same vein, the court also said the moment you have the freedom to life, that does not give you the liberty to take the life of others. You see that now? So having told him, who actually supposed to educate me on the modus of operandis of the Constitution, I just golfed in what he said right now. And having said that, the government of the South never, I repeat, the government of the South never asked the Hausa Fulanis in the South to leave the South. The government of the South never stopped the business of the Hausa Fulanis in the South. No. The government of the South came up with a resolution that there had to be a stop in open grazing. A stop in open grazing does not define or connote sending the Fulanis away from the South, except when the owner of the businesses aren't ready to follow the rules and regulations laid down by the certain state's governor. And the moment that becomes the case, then we have no other option rather than for them to exit the South and go to the North. I hope you guys are actually following me right now. Okay? Please, if you are following me, just say yes. Because sometimes it is good we get some kind of if you are following me, please just kindly say yes. It is good we get some kind of feedback. Okay? It's good we get some kind of feedback, so it helps us to be able to move on. Okay, guys. My father said now he's regaining his complexion. Baba, I agree, sir. I agree to Baba. Baba, not country. But I love the country. I love Nigeria, guys. I love Nigeria. I just been here for 2 weeks right now, and people are already saying that my complexion is coming back. Yeah. So for him to say they are already doing something against their right, it is not true. They said if you are coming to the south, bring your cattle in trailers. In trailers. Do not bring your cattle through the forest. We want to give account of every man that comes into the nation, into the state. We want to give an account of every Fulani man, every headers that comes into the state. They also said the reason why they are putting a ban on open grazing to be able to not distinguish between the real headers and the criminal elements who is hiding under the guise of an header. I think my Governor Obaseki, said it yesterday when he talked about it. He said the reason is this: why they want to stop is because there has to be a distinct. Today, if there is an issue between a Fulani header or the acclaimed Fulani header who goes into people's farmland, rape their wife, kill their husbands, destroy their properties, set their farm ablaze, and when the community want to react or retaliate, they do not know who actually is involved in this crime and atrocity. What do? They decide to go after the entire Fulani cattle headers that lives in their community. That always brings a clash between these two people. So the governors are thinking, okay, if we ban open grazing, create ranching in your states. They also said anyone who is interested in creating ranches should do so because it is profitable. They are not saying you should leave the state. They are saying go buy a land and create ranching. If you don't have money, maybe the certain governors or certain states have money to buy lands, they will buy lands and create ranching where you go and pay in order for you to take care of your animals. And anyone that want to buy, we now come to your ranch and buy the animals. It makes the animal more fatter. It makes them more, it makes them to produce more milk. It doesn't make them to look so skinny and haggard. It doesn't make them to look tired. I think I just came out to Sweden for two weeks or 3 weeks. I've not moved out of the house. I've been indoor. You see, in 3 weeks now, I'm already back to my size again. Very big. My tummy is big now. My face are getting swollen. Like my father just said now, Paigariba. He saw me when I was in Nigeria. I was already emaciating, but I still eat a lot. Do you know why? The stress. I have to drive from year to year, morning to night. So that actually, was telling on my physical appearance. That is the same thing with the animals. So the Southerners are actually trying to help the less privileged in the north who have been perpetually made to be slaves to the likes of this Malami. And I'm very sure this moronic Attorney General of the Federation actually owned our own cattle because he knew the cost of producing ranching and feeding the cattle on its own is quite expensive. They want to make so much money at the expense of others. Don't forget, Adamu Gaba, one-time presidential aspirant in the last conventional election, also said that cattle farming is more lucrative than the oil and the entire gas reserve in the south. He gave a very fantastic calculation yesterday that 1 kilo of cow or 1 liter of cow milk is 340, whereas 1 liter of fuel is 140 or 160. And he also said at the end of the day that the North can make 21 billion naira per state per month if they are to engage in cattle. and they can produce 15 million jobs in the north alone from the cattle business. It gives them a very fantastic analysis, which I think people like this moronic, Attorney General of the Federation would have actually sat down to check in order for them to be able to get the best out of what the South is talking about. But because the slaves are the ones, according to them, giving the instructions, it becomes instructive to the fooders. It becomes instructive to the people who feels Nigeria belongs to them. Because instructive to those that feel that they are born to rule. And the truth of the matter is it is quite clear, based on the 1999 Constitution, actually that gave power. Because one of the problems we have today in Nigeria is the likes of Brigadier General Abdulsalam Abubakar, who actually transmitted power to Nigeria after the military era for about 2 decades or thereabout. Okay, guys? So, right now, he said, this is what the Constitution says. So let's go further to see what he said.
Ian, perhaps maybe the northern governors coming together to say that they prohibit spare parts trading in the north. Does it hold water? Does it hold water for a northern governor to come and state expressly that he now prohibits spare parts trading in the north?
But when the governors came to...
Now, he said, does it hold water when the northern governors will come together and say they are bound spare parts business or trading in the north? Let me also ask this man, with all due respect, Oga AGF. Does any Igbo man trade in the forest? Does any Igbo man trade without permission by the local government, by the community, and the state in which they dwell? Does any Satana in the north does business without the permission of the states where they live in? If the answer is no, then your comparison does not hold water. And let me also say, every Igbo man, every spare part dealer, every certain businessman in the north, they either buy a piece of land, build their stores, build their hotels, pay rent if you didn't buy, pay community taxes, and pay different taxes and levies to the state government. Multiple ones, for that matter. So, whatsoever they are getting in the north is not free. They actually paid for it. So, the comparison is not even in the same part of the world. I was so disappointed at Shehu at this very particular point in time. Shehu would have thrown the question before him. Sir, but these guys actually pay for the services being rendered to them by their different states. What does the Fulanis headers do in Edo State or in any part of the South? Do they actually pay for the services being rendered? No, rather they destroy people's property, they destroy people's farm. When they confront them, they rape them. They create so much havoc. As I speak to you today, some part of Ogun State are now in Benin Republic as refugees. We are not at war, technically, but our people are in refugee camps all over Africa. Our people are in refugee camp within their own country. In Benue State, I think the autumn came that they have over close to 1 million people in refugee in Benue State. They are not at war. They are not under the guise of the Boko Haram, but yet they are in IDP camp as a result of the clashes between this demonic, bloodthirsty headers on the innocent farmers of Benue. So what hell are we actually talking about right now? How can you compare a trader who owns a shop that everybody in the community knows to a guy We do not have his or identity. If a man who lives in a shop, who sells from the shop, commits a crime, we know where to go to. Then how is it possible for a man who we do not know where he is, where he comes from, where to look for him? Do you also know, sir, that most of the time when these Fulanis come, I remember in Odigi, when they did, they also went to Odigi and they said, no, Digwetwe, after Odigi, and started, shooting periodically, and they killed a lot of people, and the government of Edo went there on a fact-finding solution. When they got there, do you know what? When they called the Fulanis, headers or leaders in that community, and they asked them of who actually committed the crime, they said they don't know that these guys are not part of their team. That was what they said to the government of Edo State. These guys are not part of our team. We don't know them. So if you don't know them, then the government is trying to find a way to distinct. There has to be a distinction. Separate these people. Separate the good ones from the bad ones. You are saying it is against you. It is illegal. But when you do yours in the north, it is not illegal. I can't have a pig farm in the north because you believe it is against your rules. I can sell alcohol in the north because you believe it is against your rules. I can have a brote. I can have a brote in the north because you believe it is against your rules. In the south, we have central mosques at the heart of cities, major cities where Christians only dominate. But you can't have that in the north because it is against your rules. That just simply shows that we, as a nation, we are not one. There's just this very metallic idea from you guys that you guys are the boss, we are the servants. No wonder the motto of Sokoto before Olusegun Obasanjo came was "We are born to rule, born to rule." So that is the mentality, that is the ideology that we have. Let's continue with this audio, guys.
Good answer. This is a problem that we've seen, and this is the solution. And they felt, look, the solution will be stop the open grazing across the land. Look, stop the transportation by foot of cattle.
If you are talking of a constitutionally guaranteed right,
listen to him now. Listen to him.
The better approach to it is to perhaps, you have spoken earlier about the constitutional amendment, is to go back to ensure the constitution is amended. The constitution, freedom and liberty of movement, among others, is established by the constitution. If by an inch you want to have any compromise over it, the better approach is to go back to the National Assembly. Open grazing should be prohibited, and see whether you can have the desired, perhaps, support for the constitution.
See now, you see what he said now? He said, and see whether you can have the desired support. That is the plan. That is the plan. You see why we must disintegrate. There is no fairness. There's no equity. There's no justice in present-day Nigeria. There's already a split based on the constitution that was drawn. Based on the constitution that was drawn from these people, it is becoming very crystal clear that from the beginning they have an agenda. Don't forget, yesterday I told you when the Arawa Forum had a meeting yesterday, they said for them to agree on restructuring, the Nigerian state, probably the southern state, must promise them that Nigeria must be one. Don't forget. In my broadcast today, I made note of that. Say for Nigeria, for them to agree for them to agree on restructuring, the Shatta counterpart must give them an assurance that Nigeria will remain one. So the fear of these people is the dissolution of the nation called Nigeria. But yet, they still want to play the master-servant relationship. Whereas they know their survival is depending on the South in every ramification. They have refused to accept the fact that they actually depend on us to survive as a people. And that actually beats my wildest imagination. Okay, if they want to enact the law, they should go to the National Assembly. This man forgets that the state has a state assembly, which also has power, a constitutional right to enact laws for the protection of lives and properties in their state. It is enacted in the same constitution. I'm not even sure that this guy understood what, maybe this Malami might even be a Sharia lawyer, just like Tanko Mohammed, who is a Sharia judge, a Sharia lawyer. This guy may even be a Sharia lawyer that do not even understand the technicality in law. Because if he does, I don't think some of these things he's actually spilling today would ever be said by a man of his stature. Let's continue, guys.
Amendment in that respect, but it is indeed a dangerous position for any governor in Nigeria to think that he can bring about any compromise, any.
See, threat again. Threat. This is what Hassan, the secretary of Maytela, said. This is what the governor of Zamfara State said. Threat to the South. Threat to the South. They have always been threatening the South. And I want to say this. All the governors in the South, let me speak to my governor. Governor Obaseki, sir. The truth of the matter is this. You will leave a legacy behind if this is the only thing you can do for the Edo people. Our people have been killed all over the state. Few days ago, 5 Fulani men were caught in a vehicle about to kidnap somebody. And the local vigilantes held them and killed some of them. They sent them ablaze in Benin City at Ekewan Road precisely. This has been happening all over the Federation. If not by the grace of God, I would have also been kidnapped in one of my journey from where I'm doing my little business to town. But thank God for the local vigilante who intercepted these guys, and there was a dual gun battle for about 15 minutes. And some of the vigilantes came to block some of us from running into the gunshot or running into wherever. They stopped us, and they were having a very strong time with these guys. Before they finally overpowered them, they killed one of them, and many of them ran away. These local vigilantes are what we call community policing. Actually saved the day for many of us because they were waiting at the end of, because that place is a slope. It's a slope and it's a tight road. So when you are coming in, sometimes we come in with about, it's a free road. You can drive up to 100 kilometers per hour when you're coming down the hills. Okay? They set the day for us. So if the only thing you can do is to make sure that the lives and the property of your state is guaranteed and protected, the people will forever be grateful. Because when there is no security, there is no development. When there is no security, economy will not grow. It will never grow. That's why Nigeria can never get out of this, of this poverty, because of the state of the nation today. And the likes of Malami, who's supposed to have understood the workings of governance, are actually supporting something that is quite disgusting and something that actually breaks the heart of people who would think, what the hell is he talking about? Because most of these people from the north, look at the other guy, Professor Yusuf, they have lost their sense of reasoning because of their, ethnocentric, nepotic characters. They want every other part of the nation to be subject to their dictates. Without that, Nigeria will have no peace. Let me say this again. In 1804, Usman Dan Fodio led jihad war only succeeded in the northern part of Nigeria. When they were coming through the south, in the boundary of Ilori, the Yorubas actually stopped them there, and they couldn't pass over the place. Even the lorry that they conquered was actually given to them by the Yoruba man, who sabotaged the effort and the war of his people. When they were coming towards the Benin, through Kogi area, around the Akoko Edo axis of Benin of Edo State, they detained the Benin Empire, who was the warlord as at that time, held them to hostage and drove them back into the north. That was the end of the conquest of these people. Some of them will say, oh, it was the white men. The white men, it was in 1807 that they actually came to Kogi State, Kogi area now, to not take Ajakuta, to not take over the other part of the south. That's when they met a resistance from the Benin soldiers, who actually fought them to a standstill, and they ran back to the north. From there till the invasion of 1897 of the Benin Kingdom, no nation, no independent nation within the geographical location called Nigeria today, or even to other part of Africa, actually fought with the Benin Empire. This is a clear statement, and I believe strongly that with the Benins, we are not a pushover when it comes to pushing them to the war. We respect people. People might think today the Benins are afraid. They were never afraid. They can never be afraid. That's why I'm begging my people. Let us not divide along political line for political reasons. Let us unite and fight a common enemy who has decided to make us a slave in our own land. Before the coming of the 1914 amalgamation by this idiotic, moronic, British guy called Lugard, there have been different kingdoms in Benin. I mean, in the south, or even in Nigeria as a whole. There have been different ones. You have the Great Benin Empire under the reign of Abavora Menobasi. We have that Jajafo Popo, and many other different people that were actually, involved, taking care of their different territories and performing perfectly well. I remember in the 14th century when the first white exploit came to Benin Kingdom, they were marveled. They were marveled at the system of operation of governance in the then Benin Empire. They saw a nation, they saw a city that was already built far better and more beautiful than the city of London. They saw a city that had all the roads being put within the city. They saw a city that actually had street lights as at that time in the 14th century. But the mopping up of these different nations together without their consent actually reduced the developmental strides of these nations. We knew the exploit of Nanafi Shekiri. We knew the exploit of Jajafo Pobo. We knew the exploit of of Obavara Menambasi and every other Obas that came. We need the aspect of the Oyo Empire, led by the sons of Oduduwa. Even in the north, we knew what we were doing there. But they were not able. Listen, do you know the reason why we have an amalgamation in 1914? People don't know today. Because these guys have been parasites on us from the origin. The reason why, because they have two different companies. Let me shock you guys. Do you know the Southern Protectorate was a company? The Northern Protectorate was a company. It wasn't actually a nation. It wasn't actually a nation. They were companies. Let me tell you, Shai, do you know these companies? The Niger Delta or wherever. Do you know that they actually sold Nigeria? The South in particular. They sold the South to the British government for 840 million pounds. This company, they sold Nigeria to Britain. We're not created to be a nation. We are created to be a business conglomerate. These two entities we actually operated differently. Did not find that the Southern Protectorate was making so much money. Why they could not make nothing? It was difficult for them to actually meet up with the daily expenses of the North. They need to bring money from London. That's when the Queen of England had to call them to order and said, we don't have money anymore. You must do the needful in order for us to be able to have them finance their government. Like what was done in India by Lord Lugard, which today, that very particular union had broken. The Pakistan, the Bangladesh, and the India people. They brought him into Nigeria. He came up and forcefully with an iron stiff and joined two parallel people together, either in culture, in language, in thinking, in everything. They brought animals to live with humans. All because they could not take care of themselves. From 1914 till 2021, they have continuously depended on the South to survive. Can we continue in this manner? All because we are afraid to die. Can we continue in this manner and remain slaves? All because we are afraid to be arrested. Because today, they own everything. From the president, to the Senate president, to the deputy speaker, all the military apparatus except the Navy. Except the Navy has an Hausa Fulanis. Nigerian Port Authority, the custom, every aspect is controlled by them. Even the central bank today, Godwin is a rubber stamp. Oh, guys, I'm a little bit getting pissed off right now. Now, I love the reply. This was the reply that was given right now. This was the reply that was given. Please, let me just check for the news, guys. Did I lose that news? No, I'm not supposed to lose that news, guys. Oh, I lost this news, God of Israel. What the heck is wrong with me? I lost this news. There was a news I was supposed to give right now. Oh no, 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 no. This is not good for me now. This is not good for me now. This is not good for me now. I lost this news. I wasn't supposed to lose this news. No, I'm not doing that for now. There was a news that I put up. I didn't put it up. What? Oh. Okay, guys. No, there was open grazing ban is irreversible. Akeredolu replies Malami. 'Cause I wanted to try to read the news, but I couldn't get it anymore. Now, after Akeredolu listened to this guy, he decided to reply him immediately. He decided to reply him immediately. He decided to give him a reply immediately. I said, listen, guy, you do not tell us what to do. We are chief security officers in our state. As far as Nigeria is practicing a federal, system of government, the federating unit had the power to make laws for themselves to protect their people. And one of those laws is a unanimous ban on open grazing in the South. It is finished, it is settled, it is non-negotiable. That's what it said. And I love that. But one thing I hate about these people today, is what they did. I'm going to read that to you guys. I'm so pissed off right now to all these people. They're actually the problem of Nigeria. The whole of them. The whole of them. The whole of them. The whole of them. Can you believe this? Can you believe this? Can you believe the plans of these people against us? Can you believe that, guys? I can actually tell what the problem is with an average Nigerian elite. I can explain why the Nigerian elite takes delight in seeing their people suffering. The Nigerian Governor Forum today, the 36 governors had a meeting today. And in that their stupid meeting, they decided to say a liter of petrol should be from 408 naira 50 kobo. And that very particular committee was headed by that idiot, that dwarf in Kaduna State, Malam Nasser El-Rufai. You know, that guy has been used by different governments at different times. If you remember, Passenger, El-Rufai destroyed people's home and gave those land to his friends, his wives, and his cronies. Today, the same El-Rufai has sacked over 14,000 workers in Kaduna State, all in a bid that he could not pay them. Today, the same El-Rufai was actually the one that was given, that chaired the committee to look at how they can actually remove completely what they call subsidy from petrol. I wonder, a country that is actually the sixth largest oil producing country in the world suffered most when it comes to petroleum products. Because the same fooders who wants to make sure they turn the South to be poor and keep power in the hands of the few elites in the North, as perpetually makes the NNPCs in Warri, the two in Port Harcourt and the one in Kaduna, never to work. Since I don't know when, fuel have been imported from other countries to Nigeria. Whereas we are not a producer of crude oil. We are actually the sixth largest producer of crude oil in the world. I began to ask myself, and they said they normally spend 120 billion naira as subsidy every month to subsidize for us, and that the subsidy is being taken away to other parts of Africa and be sold. I want to ask these people a very simple question. If you spend 120 billion on a yearly or monthly basis, as you claim, how much does it take to build a new refinery? How much does it take to make a complete turnaround of the 4 refineries in Nigeria today? How much does it take to support all the oil producing states in the federation to have a modular refineries? In Nigeria. The failure of these people is always hit on the already impoverished common man. The same man who is coming out with this very Dracula recommendation sacked 14,000 workers from the state. Send them into the labor market, send them into abject poverty. Despite the 30,000 salary they take home, cannot even get home. Now they have nothing to go back to. Yet these people want to impoverish the people the more by increasing the price of petroleum from 408 naira 50 kobo from 380 naira to 408 naira 50 kobo. El-Rufai actually said in that video that the moment they come with the 408 naira 50 kobo, and if the Labour Congress and the TUC decide to go on strike, they will now negotiate it to 380 naira per liter. I want to say, if Nigeria gets to this point, you will know that the rate of crime is going to be so much in the country that they themselves will be the first target. You can't continuously impoverish the people when you have not decided to reduce your bogus salaries and that of your heads and other of the executive of each of these states. Obaseki have been ruling Edo State now since November 12 till today, which is about 7 months without no executives. Just like Nasser Rufai said, the COVID-19 has actually proven to the world that we do not need the large number of people that was working in our parasitas to actually work. So because of that, he's trying to now reduce the workforce of the Kaduna people. But he has not reduced the number of aides that is working with him. And based on what they pay these aides, the minimum salary an aide gets in each of these states of the federation is 150,000. The 150,000 naira is the salary for 5 workers who work assiduously without no break for 8 hours every day all his or her lives. These are what they get, the minimum they get. Some of them get as much as 500,000 naira per month. They have never been able to bring down what they get as governors. But yet they are sitting down somewhere wanting to create more pains on the people. This group of guys today, they have never bought petrol all their lives. Do not forget, El-Rufai was in 1999 to 2007 government. El-Rufai came back again in 2015 up to today. He has been living under the expense of the federal government of Nigeria and with the taxpayers' money. Many of these people, the moment they cross out of government as a governor, they return to the Senate like Okorocha and many others today who were once governors of their respective states and they are now senators of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. They continue from where they stopped and continuously eating, embezzling, and impoverishing the common masses in Nigeria. I know the Nigerian Labour Congress today has become a toothless bulldog who could not bite. And I must say, without any iota of doubt in me, that the reign of the comrade of comrade Adams Ali Oshomole as the NLC president during this time has proven to us that NLC has so much power to put every government to a standstill. We all know Obaseki to be a very tough, military man. But under the leadership of Adams Ali Oshomole, he was able to make Obaseki to bow in many occasions to the workers' demands. But today, this guy, Comrade Waba, has shown to us that he is not qualified to represent the workers of Nigeria. I can even sit down without not talking before 4,000, 14,000 workers were sacked from the Kaduna state government. Today, they are coming with a Dracula proposal, which they believe the federal government is going to adhere to, and at the end of the day, they'll put the pressure of their lavish lifestyle on the common man on the street of Nigeria. We all Nigerians, we must wake up to the reality that these guys actually never made good for any one of us. Listen, guys, as you know me, I don't support any of these guys because they are one and the same set of people. It is preposterous for anyone to sit in a meeting and say the 1 liter of petrol will become 380 naira. Let me say, in Sweden, it is more than that per naira. But many of us in Sweden do not use petrol. Before you can increase the price of petrol to a very unbearable height, you would have provided the basic amenities to the people, like light. Because many businesses in Nigeria today actually uses this very particular commodity to run their day-to-day activities. So if you now decide to increase the price of fuel from 162 to 165 to 208 or 408 naira, automatically you are telling us that these people are going to increase their goods and services, in a proportional rate, if not more. Therefore, that shows a bag of rice will be sold as much as 60,000 naira. Because when you do that, Those of us who actually uses fuel to run our businesses, we have to also put a cost on the common man. Then that shows you are impoverishing the common man by each passing day. But if you are not being able to create electricity for the people, they do not really need the fuel. Then the fuel, sorry guys, the fuel in the developed world is actually consumed by the elite, not the common man. So that is why when the price of this commodity is high, it had nothing to actually do with the masses. And sometimes they want to follow places like Sweden. Sweden have fuel. They also have a biogas, which they extract from other sources, which is not actually fuel. Not petroleum, I mean. A biogas. That's what they use in running most of their transport systems in Sweden and in many parts of Europe. So that's why the transport system is very, very cheap. We pay here in Sweden, we buy a ticket every month to take us around the entire state for for a 950 crown, which is about 800 euros in a month. Don't forget, the salary rate in Sweden today is about 115 crown. 150 crowns to 200 something crowns per hour. Okay? So, and that takes you around the town. So we only need that when we're going out of our house. So we don't need that to power our generator. Don't need that to do anything at all because every other thing will be provided by the government. So it is only those that actually have cars who have what it takes to maintain their vehicles that actually buy this fuel from the station. But when you now decide to put it on a nation that actually depends on fuel in totality, it is very, 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 very unfortunate. Instead of most of our people, we're going about creating problem, causing nuisance in the society. Let us start doing the needful, defending and saying to power those things that we know is not workable according to the dictates that we actually believe in. Now, I also have another news here again that I need to talk about. I think I'll go to Edo State a little bit, then I will come back again. Obaseki proposes new law to attract investment in power generation, transmission, distribution in Edo State. I want to beg Obaseki, sir. It would be nice if you can speed it up, this process. Let this law be taken to the State House of Assembly. Let it pass it into law as soon as possible. One, this will create another room for job opportunities for Edolites. It also creates another room for, the chain reaction of the jobs in the state. And also it will also put Edo State in the forefront of having a better and a more organized system. If you can do this, maybe other states' government can follow suit, then we can go away from this, darkness that has enveloped the entire nation and go into a city of light. Because when there is no light, development is stagnant. It can't actually move forward. You can't have a life of 24 hours in a state or in a nation where there's no light. Remember during time in Ijao is a 24-hour business. Oluku was a 24-hour business because the light was constant there. But like today, this thing doesn't happen again because light is no more available the way it used to be. So I'm going to just read that very particular proposal to you guys, then we'll move to the next phase. Okay, guys? If there's any question, please just drop it on the comment section. And if you have any contribution to it, please drop it on the comment section. When I come back there, I'm going to just read it so that everybody can see what we are meeting, what we are saying. Obaseki proposes new law to attract investment in power generation, transmission, distribution in Edo State. Meet stakeholders over bill establishing electricity market. The Edo State Governor, Mr. Godwin Obaseki, on Wednesday meet with private electricity stakeholders in the state to chart a new path to attract more investors to improve electricity supply in the state. Obaseki, while speaking at a one-day electricity workshop held at the Government House, Benin City, reassured that his administration will continue to provide an enabling environment for businesses to strive. According to him, this workshop has provided us the opportunity to bring up issues relating to electricity, which is a core and very vital for our existence, to see how, working with the ambits of our constitution, we can take on the responsibility of providing electricity to our people. We are going to use the advantage that we have as a state with access to reasonable cost fuel and encourage investment in generation, transmission, and distribution within the state. It is a process, and we are going to make available draft copy of the bill to everybody who wants to have input. And we are also hopeful of giving the process a fair hearing and a lot of publicity. He concluded, as a state, this is one promise that we made to our people when we came to office in 2016, that we will continue to provide an enabling environment for businesses to strive. We want to make all citizens know that we are working hard. We need to create a framework, policies, and enact laws to be able to do what is expected of us. I am sure that we have the support of the Speaker. We are going to get a bill into the House of Assembly within the next 2 weeks, and I'm sure that the bill will not take longer than 30 days and will be passed into law. Whatever communication that we need to have with the federal government, we will do. This is not meant to be an adversary relationship with Edo State electricity license companies. We hope that they understand what we are trying to do and take advantage of certain opportunities created by the bill, he added. The governor further assured that his administration would ensure it gives full support to all the private stakeholders in the electricity business in the state. The Edo State Deputy Governor, Right Honorable Comrade Felix Shaibu, while addressing his opening remark, reaffirmed that the present administration under the leadership of Governor Obaseki is aimed at providing stable electricity supply for the citizens of the state. On his part, the Speaker of Edo State House of Assembly, Right Honorable Marcus Onobom, assured of legislative backing to provide legal framework for the electricity sector, end of quote. So we are believing, we are hoping that this whole thing will just come up and every one of us will start working towards that very particular goal. It will be a thing of joy for us as a people to see that Edo State is now being lit up again. Okay, guys. Now, the last one I'm going to talk about here today is why open grazing must be discontinued by Taminu Yakubu. Why open grazing must be discontinued by Taminu Yakubu. In 1999 to 2002, I was a cabinet member in Katsina State government when I was preparing our first budget. I was unsettled by the past trend in government support for agriculture. Please take note of this. Just follow me up. Year in, year out, 80% of the budget for agriculture went into fertilizer procurement. Knowing the requirement of agriculture as I did then, I felt that I needed to interrogate the tendency to give so much financial support to one need out of 20 clearly identified necessities of the sector. I appointed a consultant to go around farmers all over the state to generate a list of their actual needs. They came back with 20 items. I directed them to return to the farmers for the ranking of those needs from the most to the least important. The outcome shocked me to the marrow of my weak bones. Fertilizer, we are ranked number 13. The certification was ranked number 1. Extension service was number 2. Market profitability was number 3. Subsidy was not identified as a requisite. The finding made me to become very interested in the decertification phenomenon. I read a number of references materials with very authoritative conclusions. A recurring conclusion drawn from evidences gathered in the field was that open grazing was a very key factor responsible for destroying 90% of the vegetation covered in northern Nigeria from 1960 to year 2000. If we can help it, this destructive trend that is making our environment increasingly hostile to all fauna and flora must be arrested and reversed. It must also not be imported to southern Nigeria. I later personally followed up on my practicing farmers and researchers on why this certification was an important factor in agriculture. Both respondents missed no word in affirming that this certification was responsible for the destruction of topsoil, which was held to be a major cause of failing yam yield. This guy is Alhaji Taminu Yakubu. He was special advisor on economic matters to President Musa Maro Musa Yaradua. Okay? This guy is saying we need to ban it because this thing actually created a lot of problems. So we're talking about only the destruction of crops right now. It's also talking about destroying the top layers of the crops, which actually create so much disturbance to the yield of yams in the farms. But do our blindfolded Catorera, Power Toxo set of leaders think in that direction? The answer is no. And that is, where is the sense? So justice in this. You know, when the IG was inaugurating the special squad he put up in the east, the IG told them this. I'm going to read what he said. If anyone accuses you of human rights violation, the report will come to my table, and you know what I will do. So take the battle to the IPOB wherever they are. Kill them all. Don't wait for an order. This is what the IG said to the police in Enugu. If anyone accuses you of human rights violation, the report will come to my table, and you know what I will do. So take the battle to IPOB wherever they are. Kill them all. Don't wait for an order. So you are surprised that an IG will release such a statement to his boys to create genocide of the Igbo people. How can you actually identify an IPOB member. It means he just repeated them, go and cause genocide of the Igbo people. Do another massacre, just like what it happened in 1967 through 1970. But this is a country where an Islamist cleric is advocating for terrorists. Nobody talk about that. Nobody has gone into the forest to kill the bandit. But rather, they are sending their own to discover their people, to surrender their arms and get amnesty. But they aren't doing the same to the south. I recall when major areas in Yobe State were run over by Boko Haram, and reports of Boko Haram distributing Ramadan food items and money to indwellers. The IG who hailed from there never gave the police order to open war on the terrorists. Today, war has been declared on IPOB by the IG. This very statement was from FS Yusuf, is a human rights activist. Okay, and let me read the last of today, what our brother Reno Omokri said. The comment by General Muhammadu Buhari's Attorney General of the Federation, Abubakar Malami, that banning open grazing is like banning spare part trading, shows that this regime is fully behind killer S-men. If northern states can ban alcohol sales and pig farmings, and even go as far as demolishing hotels and other businesses owned by their fellow Nigerians for the alleged violation of these bans, then certain states can ban open grazing. If a Nigeria cannot open grazing of pig in the north, then local and foreign herders cannot do open grazing of cows in the south. You should not condemn one without condemning the other, except you are saying that Southerners are second-class citizens in Nigeria. That was from Reno Mokri. Thank you, guys. Let's just go to the comment section now. We look at what this comment section is saying. Joseph Sonny says, are the certain governors be sleeping for not aware of the things that they just aligned? A lot of them is running their second term. All they have said is true, but because it's no longer favor them as before. But I don't actually know what you meant by that, my brother. Whether they are running their second term or their last term, whatever they say right now, we stand the test of time. We as the Southern, we must begin to start joining hands to protect our people. Okay, we throw politics aside. Anything that is favorable to our people must be the first thing we must look at. That's what I have to say to that. Remember, that's what I said. Nigeria is not working because no one cares about his or our fellow human being. Make her eat, make others die is what our politicians practice today. Mama, I so much accept that. That is what is actually killing us as a people. Certain governors are always speaking up because they have personal issues with the federal government. The minimum wage increase, national autonomy to the local government, the state legislative, and the judiciary. Listen, my brother, what they spoke up about the ban on open grazing, I think it's one thing that we all must actually support. If we know what is happening in Nigeria, we must come up to support that. Forgetting whether they are doing it to actually, undermine the president or not, that is none of our business as at this point in time. Then we have one said, brother, please wake up. Benis are living in past glory. The present Benis are totally different from the damn warriors. Please wake up. Please wake Obaseki up. Yes, my brother, you might say so. But the truth of the matter is this: once a warrior, always a warrior. The only problem we have today is because of this disunity that's actually eating us up in Benin Kingdom today. When Benin decide to do something, they do it. Go to Benin today, there is a relatively peace in Benin City since the coming in of this community policing. So that shows that if they decide to do something, they will do it very well and do it perfectly well. But because of this nature of of uh, of uh, of what is it called? Because of this nature of jealousy that is actually eating us up, we never want to agree because we don't want to give glory to anyone for whatsoever they have done. Since for some time I've seen that the Benin people, like the Benins, who actually most on the social media space hate themselves so much, and anyone is ready to bring you down when they see that you are already climbing, because I don't know why they hate to actually help themselves in creating a very, very, beautiful and well-structured existence for themselves. It's quite unfortunate, but I still believe that the Benin's, once a warrior, always a warrior. So please, can we alert the Benin's about the multitude of Hausa Fulani living in Benin City and Benin Forest, and that they are unmovable because of their numbers? Bros, the day we have the permission to follow them, they will run. That I can tell you very, very well, sir. Because the problem is today, why they have so much power in today is because the government has not actually given us a go-ahead to actually deal with some of these issues. They will run, sir, I can promise you. Do you know what has been happening at Eho in Benin Auchi Road for quite some time now? They have been dealt with. They have been dealt with. They have been dealt with, sir. I can promise you. They have been dealt with. Now, one Nigerian Osage said, I was shocked yesterday after seeing politics today at Channels TV. Cow is very important to Fulani, Buhari, and Hausa than Southern Nigeria. So Nigeria must divide. I believe you, sir. I've just said it before. That's the way we're going to go. They don't respect us. They don't value us. To them, we are inconsequential. To them, we are of no value. And because we are always dividing among what I can't even understand. Okay? That alone is enough for anyone to want to take advantage of you, want to take you to be a nobody. Thank you, guys. Yes, guys. People called me and said I should react to a video that's showing online where my name was mentioned. The truth of the matter is this, let me tell you guys, I'm not a sagist. I don't do saga. Okay? I'm too refined to go dirty with anybody. My intellectual level is too high to go to the mud with anyone. Okay? So I don't want to get, and two things I want to say about that video was this. Thank God, in that video, it was stated clearly that I was never recognized as a supporter of Obaseki during the election. So if I wasn't recognized, then I wasn't paid any money at any point in time. So those are the two things that I want you guys to take. Most of you that were in APC who were actually thinking that because of my outspokenness during the election, that I had some payment. So somebody even said I went to Nigeria this year to get the balance money that Obaseki actually promised me. As another one also said, I went home to get a political position. I couldn't get it now. I am stranded in Nigeria. So with what you guys saw in that video that people have been sending me to react to, shows to you guys that Stephen Ediamatoi was never recognized as a supporter of Obaseki during the election. So therefore, wherever that was being shared or being given to people was never given to him. So that has cleared my name from the assumption and the perspective that many people believed that my job as at that time was not for free. So that has showed to you that everything I tell you here on this show is true. I worked for Obaseki for free. I am working today for a door and a better Nigeria for free. I am a self-made man by the grace of God. I'm not here to brag or to talk about what I am, but I know I don't need the government to actually take care of my bills. I will never be, as I've said it before, this political state today is not what I want to be part of. It's not what I want to be part of, guys. I don't want to be part of it. Do you know the reason why? Because I believe that I am not part of this structure based on my thinking and my ways of reasoning. I'm one who believes in equity, justice, and fairness. So I can't even play politics with these guys, with the guys of this nature. Not at any level, not as an appointment, because if you give me an appointment today, I will throw it back at you tomorrow. When I tell you this is not wrong, and you say not to listen to what I say, I will throw your appointment back at you. So for me not to create any vacuum in any political setting, that's why I have said over and over again, I will never, for one day, get into office with any of these people, except there is a mental and a psychological change of mind by the Nigerian politics of today. Okay? That's the only way. That's the only way I'm going to be part of it. If the mentality I see today in all these political classes is still remains, I will just stay in my house and do what I'm doing right now until the time that God calls. I have been an advocate for equity, justice, and fairness all my life. I have defended people in every way. In this kind of way I am, they know me. I stand for people. I hate racism. I hate ethnic bullies. I hate tribalism. Okay? And one thing I hate most is corruption. Killing the people and you live large at the expense of the people. It kills my wildest imagination. So that is the reason why I don't want to go to that level of replying. It is of no use, guys. I'm a refined gentleman. A very, very refined gentleman. I do what most people cannot do. It's not easy for you to analyze issues outside the scope of many. I don't play saga. I don't come to talk about people in my show. I talk about what is happening in our nation. How are we going to get out of the quagmire that we find ourselves? So if you see me now, not going to the level of talking about saga, then I've just downgraded who I am. You get that, guys? So please, those of you that have been writing me, calling me to reply, I don't do that. Please don't be offended by my disposition. Don't be offended by my decision not to go into unnecessary, dirty pig kind of battle with anyone. I'm not interested in it. I can't go to the mud. That's not who I am. I'm refined. I'm here to have a better Nigeria where every one of us, including those that hate me, to come up and stand, on the podium and say, yes, I am proud to be an Edo man. That is my belief. My support for Governor Obaseki is to make Edo a better place for all of us to live in. I'm one of those who make such demands, who make such promises. And I went home to fulfill that promise. Maybe in the next few months, some of you are going to see what I'll be doing behind the scene on how we can join the government of the day. We can join the government of the day to make Edo a better place to be. I don't make mouth. I do my talking. I don't just talk. I carry out every step of what I do. So, guys, please don't be angry if I don't agree to your request. Please, guys, I want to beg you guys. I know you guys lost me. I know you guys feel a little bit hurt. It doesn't really matter. In this world that we are today, one thing you must know is this: good people are not respected until they leave the scene. Thank you, guys. Great men are not respected until they leave the scene. Time will come, every one of us will return back. So these videos are going to last for a very long time. Going to last for years. Going to last for decades. go live for centuries. People will go back and replay this. Even then, maybe we are all gone. Our grandchildren will not start seeing what our fathers left behind. What kind of legacy am I going to leave behind for my son if I not go on the social media and begin to tear ourselves apart? And I'm one of those that believe in the United States of Nigeria. I want to believe in the United Edo. I don't have Isha, I don't have FM, I don't have Edo. We are one indivisible people. So a man like me who stands in the gap to make fences should not be among those that will go to the social media and destroy one another. It is not possible. Great men are talked about. Okay? Any man that the people don't talk about you, it means you need to go and check actually if you are actually among the great men around town. Okay, guys. What we say? Thank you very much, Brother Joseph Sunday. I appreciate you. Big mommy, my mommy diaspora, I thank you very much, man. Regina Eizuwa, God bless you, man. And Oluwami Ayenka Duro Yaye, I appreciate you, man. We don't have Yoruba, and that's my own take. You know, you are not a Yoruba woman. You are a Nigerian. Oduduwa has a link to the Benin Kingdom. It doesn't matter how we try to paint it to be. Whether Oduduwa was a Yoruba man or a Benin man, there is a link between the Yorubas and the Benin. And that man's name is Oduduwa, Izoduwa, Ekaladeran, as the name may go. So we all are one big family, guys. Thank you very much, man. I appreciate you. Please, if you have not subscribed, just subscribe to our channels and you only get a lot from me. I do this, I come here, give you much analysis on what is happening in Nigeria. This is what I do. That is why I will never go below and start creating who I am not. Okay, I'm very scared of my character. Very scared of my character. You know why? It took me years to be who I am. Yes. Yeah. That's why, listen, that's why I can't play politics. I promise you, that's why I can't play politics. In 2009 or so, 2010, thereabout, I went to Benin. I will never, sir. No, I'm too big. I went to Benin. I'm going to say it before I go. I went to Benin. Many people don't know I've been in politics since 1992. My father actually made me to back out of politics before I traveled out of the country. I've been in politics since 1992. Even before the 1993 election, you know, they had a local government election in Benin. I mean, in Nigeria then. I was one of those vocal supporters of my ward councillor then. They know me. They called me young professor in those days. So I got the nickname. If you live in Warri, if you live in Warri, go to a foreign area. Ask of the name Uncle Pa Awo. Uncle Pa Awo. If you go to that Solu area from 5 Junction down to Solu Guest House to Yobansa Street, ask of the name Uncle Pa Awo. That was the nickname I was giving. Pa Awo, that was the nickname I was giving because of my poems, because of the way and manner I maneuver, Rogmaro within the political circle at a very young age. I'm not joking. I'm telling you, if you can go, ask. Just go to Warri. If you live in Warri today, go to Edenya Street along PTR Road there. Ask of Uncle Pa Awo. I've left there for over 20-something years. For over 20-something years. But yet, my name still rings a bell. I left a legacy behind. Okay? So, there's no way you can expect me now to start doing things. I've built my name over the years. Social media actually did not build me. If you go to this nation where I live in, if you live here, many of you here, there in Sweden, just go anywhere and ask of Pastor Steve. I'm an household name. An household name. So there's no way I can go down. And no, I can't do this. I can't do that, guys. Never. Never ever. Never, ever. Thank you, guys. I love you all. I love you all. I love you all. You guys are great people, you know. You're really great people. I'm not doing this to make money. Okay? They don't pay me for this job. I do this because I love what I do. I want to impart on people the little I have. That's why I don't even need, if I'm only 2 years, I will please to say what I have to say. Let me say something again. I'm going to be 1 year as a presenter by June this year. So I'm not even 1 year yet. I started presenting officially. I've been doing other things like preaching and other than that, you know, on the social media. But I started presenting because of the election that came up last year. Okay? So I became a presenter June last year, precisely. When Evis Edigin, the owner of Niger, gave me a platform. Okay? I'm going to say something before you guys know, because what I'm trying to explain, you guys know something about me here. And one guy, if you give me an opportunity, I respect you all my life. Even when you misbehave tomorrow, I hold on to that regard. Oh, you live in Sweden. I live in Stockholm. I'm right now in Södertälje. You know, from Södertälje, and I'm talking from Södertälje right now. Okay? You know, so when I did my first video, and I analyzed the interview that our brother, Pastor Sageze Yamu, made with channel television over the names that Shonle called him. I did a video on my Facebook wall, and after I do that, so I needed a platform to actually, you know, work, because I don't have that kind of followers at that time. So I wrote about 3 persons. I'm not going to call their names here. I wrote 3 people, 3 YouTubers, 3 YouTubers that I wanted to feature me in their shows. I mean, at least to help me carry my video. 3 YouTubers, and 2 rejected it. They don't even reply me. 2 of them did not even reply me at all. Then less than 2 hours after I made that very particular demands, Evis Edigin, the CEO of Niger called me. Did he reply? He just called me on Messenger. Said, I saw your application. Can you send me 2 videos? Can you send me 2 videos of what you've done? Let me watch it, and I will call you back. I sent him 5. Okay, now 5. So when I sent him 5, the guy watched my video in less than 30 minutes. He uploaded 2 of the videos in less than 30 minutes, and he called me back. I said, now you can start using my channels for the broadcast. And I was not even asking for channels for broadcasting. I wasn't just asking for somebody to carry my video, but he gave me the right to start broadcasting live from his channels. And that alone makes me to be indebted to Evis as far as the social media space is concerned. Like I said, I don't need money. That's not what I need. He has given me a platform. He has given me a fame. Many of you today would have not known me if not because of the platform that this guy gave to me. From there, I'm able to build my own, you know, Facebook, and things started growing the way it is today. So I must say that very clearly. And he has also given many people, he has also given many people his platform to grow. That is a definition of a leader. Because like me, I'm a very great leader. So I know what I'm talking about. A man who will sacrifice his platform. Evis have never for one day question what I do or what I say. Because he knows nobody give me script to write. What I do today, I started doing it without his permission. I do what I do without his permission. I know the rules of YouTube. So I don't violate the rules of YouTube, but not Edigi's rules, because it doesn't have a rule. Okay? Just have the rules. So what I do today, the kind of fame that I have today is because somebody gave me a platform. Why others said, who is this inconsequential being? We don't know him around the social media space. Why will I give him a platform to showcase and become famous at my expense? Well, that is one thing Elvis never do. He has given so very many. There's one guy, Desmond, in Italy. One there's one per Monday in United Kingdom. And there's one other guy in Germany, the masses in Germany, and even another one in Germany too. The president of Edo's in diaspora, and many other people that this guy has actually given his platform, not uploading. We stream live for his platform. That shows that guy has a heart of a leader. And people like me who knows when you do me good and I have to stand by you and respect you, I will have to always continue to say thank you, Every said again, aka Niger Wash, for giving me that opportunity. That many people today now know who I am, now understood, oh, we see an Edo man. I'm the single Edo man standing today who do not go into saga. I'm the only single Edo man today who talks, educatively. All through the election, all my videos, go check my videos till tomorrow, they are still very valid. I never insulted anyone all through the 3 months of the hell battle that we had during the election. I did 15 interviews and 8 debates during the election. They are on YouTube today in different platforms, apart from Niger Watch. At least I was in about 4 or 5 different platforms defending the manifesto of Governor Obaseki. And I did debates with 3 distinguished Edo sons against APC. 3 of them versus me. They are there. Okay, guys. So if anyone did not recognize, even if Obaseki did not recognize my input to his re-election, it's not a big deal, guys, because I didn't do it to make money. I did it for the betterment of my people. I always stand at the back of the people. The people's choice is my choice. I don't run after what I'm going to get. I run after what I think is good for my people. What is good for my people is good for me, even if it is detrimental to what I feel. After my people need it, I must stand behind my people and make my people to be proud and smile. Okay, guys? Onado. So that's it. That's all I'm going to say. So there's no reply. Please don't send me SMS again. Don't send me message again. Don't send me WhatsApp call and say, we saw a video and please can you just reply to this video? Please, guys, we need to end. That's why I need to speak on it today. Don't look as if I'm disrespecting you guys or ignoring your demands. But as a man of high caliber and integrity, I can't go that low. I am a presenter, not an influencer. I always try to distinguish myself from every other person. Every other person, they call it presenters. No, they are influencers. Influencers are people that give stories. They tell stories. They influence people. They want to make people happy. No, they are good at making both people to smile. It's good. I love it. Okay, I love it. But I can't do that because that's not who I am. I am one person. I'm a teacher. I teach. So I'm one person that love to educate people. I'm one person that love to bring out the best in me. So not destroying others for me to get view. I don't need the money from this show. But I need people to get something out of me every time. Every time you come to my show, you leave the show happier. You leave the show more refreshed. You leave the show getting something new to add to what you've collected, before now. That is my person. Not to come here and bring Mr. A or Mr. B down. We are all one indivisible family. I'll call all of them again for the last time. All the Benins, all the Esans, all the Afemans on social media. Please, guys, there's no need for it. This money is a current. You know, it's a current. It flows. It flows. And because it flows, it's not static. And because it's not static, so you're not going to have it all the time. But the legacy you leave behind will be attached to you all your life. You see, we still talk to them, we refer to people like Nnamdi Kanu, Chief of Obafemi Awolowo, Aminu Kanu, Tafawa Balewa, and many other people. We refer to them again, Chief Anthony Naro, S.O. Bermudia. We refer to many of them, we're going to refer to them again. Okay, guys, that's true. Because you know why? They left a legacy behind. Today, anytime we refer to Lucky Benediction, we talk about corruption. It's a legacy left. This is good to impact on his generations. So I want to leave a legacy behind whereby when people talk, they will say, oh, there was a guy then, he was using the nickname Humanist Steven. Oh, the guy was something else. Anytime he's on show, he gets the best out of himself. He gives the people what the people need to hear. He educates them so that the people will be happy. That is what I want to be known for. Not the guy who makes so much dollars at the expense of dragging his or her brother down or his sister down. You get it now? So I am living a life that will be good to you, good to me, and good to everybody. Oh, thank you guys. Thank you guys. Thank you guys. Halaji Moro. No, Oga, I'm an old man. No. I'm very young. I will be 50 in 2 years. So I don't old small. Okay, I don't old small now. You get what I'm saying now? So we are not even on the same pedestal. Thank you, my brother. Thank you, my brother. Thank you, my brother. This is what we need. This kind of thing we need. Just come together. What are we going to do? You bring up what Obaseki is not doing well. Maybe you have seen it from another angle. I will come here and explain. Like I said, sorry guys, I'm taking your time. In one of our video about, I think Wednesday last week or so, I came up here when Joseph Sunday came up with an issue about the Kenwan Road, no light in Benin, and many, many others like that. And when I came up, I told Obaseki, I don't know if actually you paid those contractors. Joseph Sunday, you remember me, said, I don't know if you paid those contractors or you are owing them why they are slow on the Kenwan Road. Please do something about it. And I also said, sir, I want you to give us light from Saple Road down to Oluku and all other parts of Edo where Oshomole actually put light before. If you can remember, those of you that follow me, if you remember this, please say yes. And I also talk about one other thing again. What did I talk about? I talked about 3 things on that day. One, I talk about light, talk about Kenwan Road, then I talk about yes, I said it can also give light to the surrounding areas like Ikpokma, an area like that where there is no light today from the Oshomo power plant. Did you know on Saturday when we were in a Zoom meeting with the governor, he re-echoed these 3 major points that I listed on my video on Wednesday or Thursday. He re-echoed it on Saturday. I said, this is what he has done, this is what is planned, this is what is planned. So when after I listened to that video, because I was there, I feel like, yes, the governor has my ears. I may not be close to the governor, but the governor has my ears. He listens to some of the things I say. He knows that I have what it takes. During the war in October, go check my video, guys. I come here, I speak, and I give solutions. During the war in October in Benin, I did a video and I made a recommendation to the governor. And I said, sir, if it's possible, it's there on the wall. If it's possible, sir, I want you to give power of protection of life and property to those cult boys in Benin. Say if you do it in 2 weeks, killing will cease in Benin. I think, mommy, that's why we'll be aware of this. At this Grace Omo will be aware of this. Because many of them that were following me there said, if you give power to these boys, I promise you in 2 weeks, this whole thing will cease. That masses was on my show that day. And Obaseki heard. He listened. He actually did what we said. And today, Edo had peace. No more court war. Even the armed robbery had reduced to a very, reasonable level. What more do you want me to say? I have proven myself to be a man that speaks, and the government have my ears. So I don't need any money to protect my people and my state. Okay, guys? And I'm also one guy who had refused to build a house outside Benin. I mean, outside Edo. One guy that refused to have a home outside Edo State. I've said it, I'm a bloody Benin boy with character, with everything. And in Benin, in Edo State, I will have everything that I own. Because I must join hands to make my state to become the citadel of civilization and power. That's the proud Benin boy that I am. Okay, guys? So soon, you guys will start seeing some of the things we are doing behind closed door. You understood. And this young man is far, far bigger than some of the things that we think. You don't bring people down that you don't even understand, you don't know. It's not right, guys. I can't talk about you when I don't even know you. I can't even talk about you when I know you. Okay? It doesn't work for me. I don't know how to bring people down in anything I do. Thank you, guys. I love you all. We see you tomorrow again as we continue to do the best we can. God bless you. I don't know if there's any other question before I go. Let's just take 5 minutes more. Any question on all that we have discussed today? Any question on what Obaseki is doing? What Obaseki is doing? Let us just know. Ask me questions. And if it's what I can explain, I can tell you. If it's what I cannot explain, I'm going to put it before Obaseki, and I know he listens and he will give us a reply. So, yes, that's true. We need to remind our leaders who are in the seat of power so that they will always learn from our advice. I am in Dutch land. I will speak according to what we experience here. Thank you very much. And that is all. That's what we need. That's what we need. Oh, Martin Sibo, I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you, sir. You are always on point. But thank God, man. It is God. It's not by our power. It is God. It is God. Thank you, everyone. Have a very beautiful day. We see you tomorrow again, the same time, the same station. If you've not subscribed, please kindly subscribe to Nigerians YouTube, and we will be here to give you the best of everything. Bye for now. See you tomorrow. Have a wonderful day.